Big Al's Rant with Cayden McFarland, powered by Jack Cassee Ford.
Hello, with Cayden. Al here with another edition of Your Rant. We're calling it Your Rant. This is why we're calling it Your Rant. Why?
Well, we're on Facebook Live right now, and Zach is here. We'll take a shot of him. He's taking your questions. We had a mistake on Thursday.
Right.
First one out of the box, little technical issue. We didn't get to questions,
now
but we
we're going to have
a lot of
buzzer,
them.
and he's going to punch us.
That's right. So we'll stop at the end of
I'll be a little bit more gentle than that.
No, just jump in, buddy.
Okay, sounds good.
We want to hear from you.
Absolutely. Yeah,
because
so
we want to
send
hear
in
from
the
you.
questions, and we'll be answering
We want to hear from you.
Look forward to it.
And on Friday, right before the Union-Jenks game, Cayden and I were talking about what are we going to talk about on the rant this week? Because
I said OU's going to roll.
OU's going to roll, and
we thought TU, they'll put up a fight, but second half.
How wrong were we?
Pretty wrong.
Okay, so now Mike Gundy, you may have just heard this. Mike Gundy sent out an email through the SID office at Oklahoma State that he doesn't want to talk about what happened at the end of the game yesterday ever again.
Said he apologized, he said he was disappointed about his role in the play that he called right there, Mason Rudolph throwing it out of bounds, drawing the intentional grounding. This time he also said he was disappointed in the referees, which is something he did not say yesterday. He said there were 10 rules officials there. He's disappointed they weren't able to apply the rule correctly. And then he said, and the reason I'm sending this out is I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's on to Pittsburgh. And I understand it, Al. I mean, I really do. I mean, obviously, we're the media, and we're going to have to ask questions, and he will be asked questions tomorrow.
If all of it is
but I understand what he's saying, because this is a tough loss to take for players. I thought he did a fantastic job yesterday. You were there. I thought he did a fantastic job of answering the questions, being upfront about it, but also trying to turn the page for his players, taking the blame, but saying, look, tomorrow matters whether we win a close one or lose a close one. I mean, I understand what he's going for. I don't know that it's going to work, but I understand what he's going for. And this is a huge, huge ball game for him.
Can I ask you what else has to be explained?
I'm with you. Yeah, what is there to talk about?
What else has to be explained? Okay, so I want to move on as well, because we've all talked about it. We ranted yesterday about this, and most people already know what happened. We know that OSU got screwed. We know OSU didn't play well enough to win the game.
That's right, absolutely.
That
hasn't been talked about enough.
OSU needs to improve their running game.
Maybe run more.
And we know that their offensive line is still porous.
Yeah, that's a problem.
And they lost this game. Now, does it hurt? Of course it does. Well, when you see plays like this, these things are happening. Now, if you haven't heard, the MAC has suspended that officiating crew for 2 weeks. Yeah. I thought the officiating crew was shaky throughout the entire game, to be quite honest with you, when I was watching the game from Stillwater. All right, but I want to know, now the rule is you can end a game the way it ended, on a penalty on an offensive team.
The team with the ball has a loss of down penalty. But there is no extra on time
Why
down.
is that, though?
It's weird, I know, to think through.
Why did they write that rule in the first place? To me, it makes sense if it's a loss of down and it's a change of possession, that why should you not penalize the team that committed the penalty?
Totally agree. Logically, it makes sense.
Right. So if they think about this again, my guess is that they'll say, this rule really it doesn't help the team that didn't get penalized.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they will. I mean, that's part of what these guys do in the offseason. It's something that I never thought about in my entire life. Just like Gundy said, he had never thought about it. Hopefully I don't have to think about it again.
There wasn't, for people to say, and I think Mike Gundy is right, if there were 10 players, 10 rules officials at the game, and they couldn't somehow, with all the technology that we have on this earth, now we don't even need headsets. I mean, we have wireless headsets now for our phones. So if we can do that, if we can land on the moon, if we can do if we can do the rant, right?
Facebook Live and everything else. I mean, hey, let's be honest. Land on the moon, do the rant. Those two things are very close in terms of human achievement. Scientific breakthrough.
Anything?
Yes, actually, Melissa wants to know, and I know that you guys talked a little bit about this last night, why can't the NCAA overturn the loss? And also, do you think Central Michigan, the coach of Central Michigan, will do the right thing and forfeit the win?
This is Al's baby. You talked about this last night. You want NCAA officials instead of conference officials.
This is why we need an umbrella over the entire officiating crews.
Right.
We don't need to have Big 12 officials, SEC officials, MAC officials. Why can't we put it all under one umbrella where they all have a convention, they all go over the rules, and they pick crews for each game? They'd have to pick, 60 crews a week, right?
Yeah.
We'd have, there are 120,
that, yeah.
okay. Some teams have buys. I mean, you could do it, and you can grade them. You can have the best officials do the best games, whatever it is. But to have separate officials for each conference, to me, is ridiculous.
Yeah,
I don't understand
why.
why.
And we ran into it just in week 1 when the Big 12 was the replay. In the replay booth with the Notre Dame-Texas game.
That's even worse.
Almost clearly there was a targeting foul. Kid had to leave the game, and the Big 12's up there not even reviewing it.
Right. That's even worse. So now people are saying, well, it was the MAC officials out there. They made a mistake. All right, so should Central Michigan say, whoa, we really lost the game? Come on. Well, so you're putting the onus on the team that won the game?
So I would say yes, be magnanimous, but I understand what you're saying. In no world is that going to happen. In no world is that going to happen.
Pull that one on me.
No, I'm saying, in no way is that going to happen.
Okay,
you're
so
right.
I'm a bad person now?
No.
That
Don't mean to say that. I'm just saying that's on my brain. Be magnanimous, forgive.
That I don't like to play fair?
Turn the other
Is that
cheek.
what you're saying?
Turn the
I
other
don't like
cheek.
to play fair?
But in this context,
I hate
it's never
mistakes.
been done, so I certainly wouldn't expect it at Central Michigan.
No, why? Okay, Central Michigan comes away with their biggest win of their life.
Yeah.
The coach, by the way, is recovering from cancer, miraculously enough.
I know.
And he's supposed to say, "Oh, we're so sorry. Well, you can have the win right back."
Especially after
because
they pull off that Hail Mary. All OSU had to do to win was stop a Hail Mary with the lateral.
I'm sorry. No, I don't see your point.
Hey, let me quickly get to this before we do anything else on Facebook. Mike Gundy makes a ton of money. A ton of money. Football coaches are well paid.
Right?
That rule book is big. I understand that. I mean, this is 10-25A. There's a whole lot to know. But if you're making that much money and you're the head coach, you're not calling plays, is it your job to understand that rule as well, even though we've never seen it? Is it your job to know that rule and at least go out to the officials and say, look, you're messing this thing up?
I cannot put this on Mike Gundy for not knowing the rule.
I'm with you. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Because we've seen this happen a zillion. Didn't McCoy for Texas throw it into the second row?
Same thing. Yeah, they should have called it.
They should have called that.
They should have called that.
Grounding.
Absolutely.
Well,
Same exact play.
So
we've seen it a ton.
Well, I'm telling you, even the 10 officials that were at the game didn't know the rule.
Right.
So
yes, you're right.
And
it's a good point.
The
now they don't make as much money as Mike Gundy, but you're right.
All right, the 52,000 that were announced that went to the game yesterday, and everybody in the press box. Yeah. If you said that you knew the rule, please.
There's nobody in the building who did.
No,
I don't think.
I should be more gracious. But was it Madeline?
It was Melissa.
Melissa, I'm sorry.
You
Melissa,
were close.
I see where you're trying to be very nice and that you want the right thing to be done. But no, I do not think that I don't think the onus should be put on Central Michigan because someone else made a mistake.
No, that's the ultimate point right there. The officials made a mistake. Don't put the onus on Central Michigan.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get mad at.
I don't think you did.
Okay.
This is the rant. You're supposed to get mad, whether your doctor wants you to or not.
Yeah.
I
know he doesn't want me to, but that's too bad about him. All right, what else you got?
Looks like there's a little bit of acceptance out there. Curtis says they all share blame, learn and move on.
Yeah. Exactly.
Is he an OSU fan?
I don't know. I can ask him.
I don't know if I want to wade into this, but I really do feel like OSU fans are dealing with this better than OU. Can you imagine if OU had lost a game in the same manner? I really can't. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to wade into that. I'm just saying, if that had happened, I really don't want to think about what my life would be like this weekend.
Here's the beauty of the last 2 weeks. OU loses last week, and my OSU friends call in on the phone and say, ha ha, OU loses.
OU 0-1.
All right, so now it's just the opposite today.
Get this. It took 22 games last season for OU and OSU to combine for 2 losses. We're already there this week.
So, and you claim if
Texas
loses to Cal, the Big 12's already eliminated from the...
Well, I think if Ohio State beats OU and Cal beats Texas, I mean, Baylor is all you got at that point. The Big 12 is basically eliminated from college football playoff contention on September the 17th or whatever next Saturday is.
Zach, anything more on the OSU thing? Or are they all acting like Mike Gundy and they don't want to talk about it anymore?
No, they don't want to talk about it anymore.
Okay,
There's just a lot of upset out there.
Okay, well, one, the rule is stupid. It's kind of like the
I don't think it's
no catch
logical.
rule
I don't
2
get
years
it.
ago.
Yes, agreed.
It's not a logical
I don't get it.
rule because if the team is going to be penalized, why should they be given a break and have the game end? But OSU
Where do
got
they go
screwed.
from here? What do you think of this team now?
OSU's going to use this. No, OSU's going to use this to their advantage.
You think they're going to play really well against
Yes.
Pittsburgh? I think you're right. They've got 3 toughies coming up with Pittsburgh, at Baylor, and Texas.
Right.
I think they win 2 of them. I don't think they run the table there, but I think they win 2, and then I think they get on a roll. I said 9-3 at the start of the year. I'm thinking maybe more 8-4 now, but they could still get to 9-3 or even 10-2. Well, I don't know.
Right.
Boy,
Shall we move on to OU's
Let's
opponent?
move on to
this
OU.
week?
Let's roll that beautiful bean footage, and man, this was ugly. 42-0 at the half.
Well, it was expected, though.
The video board was pretty.
You see the brand new scoreboard. That is nice. As my radio colleague Pat Jones liked to say, they really kicked their butt with the Jumbotron.
Yeah, that's right. What was it, 12 carries for P. Ryan and Mixon against Houston? I think they had that after 1 quarter
Right.
yesterday. Thank you, Lincoln Riley.
All right, so let's move on from this. So,
Ohio State's coming.
Ohio State's coming to town,
Yeah,
for crying
let's
out
be
loud.
honest.
How many times do you think we'll use the Von Schaman kick?
We need to dust that thing off,
We
don't
do. We do. I
should have been
it.
thinking about that this summer. Let's go find it.
Well, he lives in Oklahoma City or Edmond. I know that for sure. I know we're going to have him on radio. So.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And he's a great guy. He's awesome. I want to see him go out
Lead
there.
the band.
I want to see him go out at halftime and conduct the band. Now, obviously, that was at Columbus. This game is in Norman. And it's going to be no, I didn't get a chance to go to this game, but did you hear about anybody saying it's louder at the stadium with the new enclosed?
Not much. I think people understood that, exactly. And it was Bob or Mike, I can't remember which one after the game, who basically said, we'll find out next week just how much different the acoustics are.
So does Bob come out like he did when Texas Tech was coming to town and say, like, look, we need to raise the roof kind of thing?
We've never been a raucous crowd, or I can't remember exactly how he put it.
We need to really get
I don't even think he will because, it's one thing when Texas Tech is a top 5 team and you're trying to get your way into the college football playoff or BCS as it was back then. It's something different when Ohio State comes to town. I think this crowd is just going to be out of its mind. And you've got a night game, 6:30, a lot of time to get ready for it. This is going to be fantastic. I do think the game's going to be close, too, because Ohio State, while incredibly talented, is very young. And, give TU a lot of credit for the way they played defense yesterday, but I was not impressed with Ohio State's offense. And I thought I would be much more impressed with them.
You don't think they were playing vanilla?
No, I'm sure they were. Just like OU was against Monroe when they scored 42 points in the first half. I'm sure they were playing vanilla. And they've got the quarterback run game that not only gives the Stoopses trouble, but really gives everybody trouble. Urban Meyer has been the quarterback run game guru. Yeah, he's done it better than anybody over the last 15 years. I think this game's going to be close, though.
All right, Zach, anybody out there on the OU stuff?
Yeah, we do have a question from Jimmy who wants to know, with this game, how many do you think we will win this season? What do you guys think?
How many games will OU win this season?
I think I've adjusted to 10. I still think they're a really good team.
No,
I don't
they're
know where
really
the loss
good,
may
but I think
come, but
9-3 is more realistic than 10-2.
They may be closer to 9-3.
If they lose this game, who knows? Because I had them losing one conference game already.
How bad a look would that be for the Big 12 if OU lost to Houston and Ohio State and then ran the
well,
table in the Big 12?
be
Can you
good.
imagine that?
It
That would not
be
be good.
Is the spread out yet?
Not as bad as Texas Tech giving up 68, but
Is the
it
spread
would
out
be good.
yet?
I haven't seen that spread, and we need to
Ask somebody.
find it. Absolutely.
Somebody yell at us.
Somebody
and let
tell
us
us what
know.
the spread on OU Ohio State. I'm assuming, if I was guessing, I'd say OU by 3. What do you think?
OU by 1.5.
1.5.
Is going to be my guess.
Pretty good lines, man. Do you have an early pick, or do you want to learn more about Ohio State?
I want to wait.
Yeah.
Just give me a day or two.
Watch-
We'll have a
see a little
Facebook
bit more.
rant midweek.
Absolutely.
What do you say?
A little tease there. I like it.
All right.
What does OU need to do, let's say offensively and defensively, to have some success against a team of this caliber?
They need, running the football is obvious.
Yes.
But I think they really, depends on what the score is also at the time. But Lincoln Riley admitted after game 1 that he got impatient, as did Yursich say he got a little impatient away from the running game, although I would have been impatient from the running game as well because it just isn't there for Oklahoma State. Back to OU, I think P. Ryan has to have a monster game.
Yeah.
Monster game.
Could be right.
Because I think And the receivers need to do a really good job of getting open when Mayfield has to move out of the pocket. And in fact, I think they can use that to their advantage, to try to make the plays look like they're breaking down and taking advantage of that and make those kind of things work.
Ohio State's quarterback, Barrett, is smart and he's tough. He's not Greg Ward Jr. I don't think he's going to be able to make as many plays down the field because Ward was so elusive behind the line of scrimmage. Barrett will hurt you more running forward. Ward was able to scramble around and then find guys down the field. I was not real impressed with Ohio State's passing game against TU. Maybe they'll be great come Saturday. I think this game will be decided in the trenches, and that worries me for OU because Ohio State's obviously going to bring a level of physicality that the Sooners just don't see, haven't seen since Clemson last year, and just don't see very often in the Big 12.
I see Garoppolo is running around a little
Let's
bit now.
quickly, just before we head back to halftime, though,
Yes.
let's get a couple of things in quickly. We'll skip to you, but run some Jinx Union highlights for me. What a ball game this was. They do this every single year. And
awesome
I didn't see this coming. Union was the far more experienced team. They were the more impressive team in the first 2 games of the year. And how about Jinx's sophomore quarterback, Ian Corwin?
I got to tell you,
how good is this kid going to be?
I thought there were more than 16,000 at that
I
game.
did too. I was surprised by the attendance there. Certainly felt like
maybe
more,
that was
sounded
just
like
paid,
more.
And maybe the students don't count or something, but there were more than 16,000.
These kids make plays every single year. I look forward to this thing.
All right, so is this going to be our state final again?
I think that the difference between these two teams
interception
and the rest of the state is greater than it's been in the last few years. I really fully expect Jinx and Union to be there at the end of the
strong
year.
interception and then the breakup at the end of the game with the 2 best defensive plays of the year.
How good was Stanley, the tight end for Jinx, who made some big plays and then also was a punter?
He quit playing football last year to play baseball, to concentrate on baseball. I was going to say and then he decided I miss football too much, came back, and
good thing he did for them.
And there's the final play of the game.
I like Union's quarterback, Davenport, too. He was close on that final play, too. It would not have surprised you at all, if they had found the end zone, this thing had gone to 4 overtimes. And there you see Coach Trimble. What a story, man.
All right.
13 state titles, 20 years.
Zach, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
Of course.
Anything else?
Thank
Anybody
you guys.
else want to yell at us or anything?
No.
We clear?
Yeah, we're clear.
All right. Thanks, man. All right. We're back to the NFL game. We'll do it again next week. And thanks for joining us, everybody.
Big Al's Rant with Cayden McFarland, powered by Jack Cassee Ford.